Did you guys have a good time? Was that a good time for anybody? Who had Zach? Everybody had Zach, but who had Zach? How crushing was that blow? I keep reaching for my stream deck and it does not have the scenes I'm looking for. Oh man. How high were you and how low are you now? Hi guys. Oh man. I had Zach. Did everybody? Oh god. I was like, oh, nice comeback. 242? I missed an FFL with a 242. I will take it. We were on cloud 9. Everything was great. And then until it wasn't, it was no longer good. But you know, such as it is sometimes, I guess, right? Let me turn down the music a little bit. I'm so sorry about that. 51%. God, poor Chase Sexton. I will say, I didn't have Chase, and he went down. I was like, oh no, oh no. I hope he's not hurt. But if you are gonna go all the way down, I wouldn't be mad if you went all the way down to 1 point. Because man, he's gonna be a spicy pick. He's gonna be a spicy pick next week. I expect to see Chase Sexton on every single team. But hi guys, my name's Donnie. Welcome to the RotoMoto After Show. We'll come up with a cool name. We'll come up with a cool name on it. It's so hard to be happy for break. I know, Cody. I know. And I was like, man, when Webb and Roxon. So I had Tomac, Webb, Roxon, and Tomac, Webb, Roxon, and Osborne. And when Roxon and Webb were like 7 and 8, 6, 7, 5, 6, and I'm like, dude, they're gonna catch and get Ferrandis and Brayton, and I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I should have known better. I played myself. I played myself for even thinking that that was a possibility, and I was so stupid and so wrong. Worst team you've ever had. Let's compete. Let's compete. Who had the worst score? Where are you at? Worst score. Let me get the thing pulled back up. Here we go. 186 for Cody. I will say, no matter how bad you think you're doing, at least you didn't have Steve's team. Has anybody peeped Steve's team? Oh, Steve's team is not so good. If anybody's wondering how to do this, if you click on leagues, if you ever want to know, you click on leagues, you go to the second page, you're looking for admins, you hit view league. Here they are right here. These are who you're looking for. These are the droids that you're looking for. And then you can click on their names and you can see their teams. So Steve, what did Steve do? 144, bringing up the back. You got Moran's. Ron Dog, I'm so sorry. Who had misses in the main? Would you guys rather have Chase Sexton's 1, or would you rather have a guy that didn't even make it at all? That's the real question. I've had scores in the 140s. I don't know what my lowest ever is, and I kind of would like to know what my lowest ever is. But I don't want to know bad enough to, like, you know, do it. I don't want to, like, actually do it. Where is my music tab? It's not that one. It's not that one. It's this one. There we go. You had Chase. Josh, that's such a heartbreaker, dude. You got all late. At least there's that, Tars. I went from 61 to 491 in the Champ League when Bloss and Osborne went down. So if anybody's wondering, nobody cares. I know you guys don't care. You know what I know is that nobody actually wants to know anybody else's fantasy team. I actually want to know your guys's. That's why I'm doing this. But generally, nobody else wants to know. But Roto Wife, I got her to set a lineup for this one. I wanted to have her do it last time, and I was just so busy. But 194, I think. So if you did worse than 194, you literally lost to somebody that has no idea what they're doing. I just was like, hey, do you want to play? Here, pick a team. At 8:20, by the way, 10 minutes ago, she's like, I want Adam Cianciarulo. That's all I know. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, do you remember the video? Who did we talk about on the video? And then she just picked a team and got 194. So my worst is 153. Marks, thank you. I guess I could have probably looked that up. God, I don't even want to know when that was. That was bad. That was bad. 1 point is always better than 0. Oh, Devin, for sure for score, but I mean at least if you have a 0, your heart was already broken before the main started. But there's nothing worse than being like, I got 8 in the main, 8 in the main, 8 in the main, and then a guy essentially scores pretty much 0. Third year playing 144 tonight is my worst score ever. But hey, didn't I tell you guys? The correct answer to playing this week was to pick 2 of the 5 former All-Stars and 1 guy that's a long shot. I said that. Marks, when's this janky ass thing gonna have? I'm just kidding. When's it gonna load? The scores, the race has been over for 10 minutes. Where are my scores? The correct answer was Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and fucking Kyle Chisholm of all picks to be the guy. It was Kyle fucking Chisholm. How? I should have known. We should have known. Jet, Moran's, Harlan, and Carnow. Can we give it up to Grant Harlan? Hey, real quick. Can we get up to Grant Harlan? He might be in here right now, but Grant Harlan's first thing he did, I don't even think he had his boots off yet. And he's on Twitter apologizing for the fantasy players for his poor showing. So everybody, if Grant Harlan is not one of your favorite riders, like, I don't know what you're doing. The guy he's the people's champion. I mean, he owes us nothing. He's a professional athlete, and he owes us nothing. And Grant Harlan's out here on Twitter apologizing to us idiots, because that's what we are. We're idiots. We're industry idiots. We do not deserve apologies. And he scored double points. That's the thing. He didn't even let us down. The second I start celebrating a score in the middle of a race, dude, Tasha, I did it too. I fucked up. I was looking and I was like, yo, 242? 242? Like, I'll take it. And nothing. Nope. 214. I scored 214 back to back, I think. No, I was 215 last time. 215 on one, 214 on the other. Mediocre at best. Mediocre. I don't want my riders. Rodney Word. I love it though. I love it. I will tell Grant. I will tell him. I'm gonna hit him up to see if he wants to do a podcast. I want to talk to riders about what they think of fantasy. But I want to tell Grant, like, yo, you don't owe us anything, but can you at least, if y'all are hurt or you have a bike malfunction or something, can you just let us know? That's all I want, baby. Just let me know that you are not to be picked this week. That's all that I want. Anyone cursing out, man. So Chase, Paige R, Harper R, me, and a few other buddies were watching it in a voice call, because we do not all live in the same area, watching it together. And I needed Curran Thurman, Paige needed Curran Thurman, and Harper needed Curran and Moran's, I think. And we were, oh boy, man. We had 2 people watching with us that have never watched it before. First time fans that I'm trying to get into the sport. And I was like, you guys are gonna wait. The LCQ is the best part, like, of the night. Especially if your guy gets in. Anyway, all I needed was Moran's and I celebrated too soon. Can we talk about the okay, do you ever wonder what the commenters are looking at during the race? Because the second time Moran's went down, what were they watching? Because they didn't even know that the leader wrecked or whatever. They were not even watching. We were, it was on screen, but I don't know if they were looking at. Oh man, if I had Moran's and Zach this round, I'd have a nice score, right? Either way, look, I know it's a heartbreaker. I know it's a heartbreaker for Osborne to go from 42 to 12. Ask me how I know. However, don't be sad about 12 points. You will look back at those 12s as salvage rounds. You salvaged 12 points because he could have scored a 0 like Chase did. Or he could have scored a 0 like the guys that didn't even make it out of the LCQ did. 12 points is still 12 more than a 0. So take a little bit of solace in that. Ricky's too long-winded at times. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I must be into it now because it's nearly 5 a.m. and I'm watching you review the race. Harvey, thank you so much for hanging out, dude. It's been fun. I'm gonna pick Zach in a week anyway. So here's the picks. Let's move back on. Back to work. Hey, Ron Dog, thank you for hanging out with us, man. We will see you on Saturday. It's quick. The commentators miss so much. The thing I hate is, I swear me and my cousin would watch the races in person on the couch in the before times, in the before COVID times. And we would make a call, and 5 seconds later, Ricky Carmichael would say what I just said out loud to my best friend. And I'm like, how? I mean, I know why he's getting paid this bucks, because he's Ricky Carmichael and I'm nobody. But how am I better? How am I better at this than these professionals? Even Ralph, even Daniel Blair, Lee Diffie. I just feel like those of us on the couch are better, but we don't have a suit and slick haircut, so we don't get it. He will not be an all-star next race, and some other jackass will get all the points. But he will not. You're right. You're right. He won't. But to be fair, I think Osborne's handicap stays where it is. Maybe even a 0. I wouldn't be surprised if Zach goes flat 0, or maybe even, or I mean, he might be like a -2. God, Joey, yeah, that was rough. So I think next week, if you can pick them, do you just pick Chase, Savachi, and Davalos? Is that our team going into Saturday? Will Stacy, man, I'm so sorry. What'd you score, buddy? Hey, does anybody know, did Ferrandis park Osborne, or did Osborne wreck on his own? Because Ferrandis was close enough that if he would have just messed up like one rhythm, Ferrandis could have been there. And not that I care, but I think that would have been, I wish we would have seen him wreck at least. 187 on the clock, Will. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. What was the, well, hey, at least that was better than average. Average of 185. Better. Marks, does this include, does our current score shown include RJ being moved back to 17th or not? Well, the wrist, it did. It did. Freeze worked out for both. Did he end up, he did end up 15th. Not yet, okay. So we'll all get a couple points back. No Bogle, oh man, Bogle. Hey, I mean no disrespect, because Bogle seems like a really cool guy. But can we retire Justin Bogle yet? I just don't think he's in it, man. I just don't think he has the body for it or the mind. In the heat race, he did not go down very hard, but he seemed like if you watched his body language on the ground, you would have guessed he got blasted. But again, a nice guy, but how many times are they gonna keep giving him another try? He's just too fragile. I don't blame him, Sam. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't blame him. I blame these teams for continuously giving Justin Bogle a ride when there are guys out there that don't have them. And I think he would agree with me. Same, Josh, same. Yes, Cody. Yes. Let me pull up the standings here. You guys will die, man. This stuff is tight. Is it even up yet? They're technically not up yet, so I can't do it, unfortunately. But Kenny's up. Kenny has a red plate. Barsh is down by 1. You know what? Kellen posted it. Let me go over and snag it from his Twitter. Barsha is down by 1. Ferrandis down by 2. Marvin and Brayton by 3. Who would have guessed that Justin Brayton would be this close to the title after 2 rounds? Eli, Malcolm, Cooper. 8 points separates the top 8. That's insanity, dude. Oh my god. That is crazy. How many of you guys are sitting on AC for a non-all-star pick next week? And here's the thing is that last week Brayton got 6th, but I was like, yeah, but you know, everybody wrecked. He didn't have to contend with Tomac, Webb, Anderson, Osborne, or Tomac, Webb, Anderson, Osborne, or Sexton. But this week, all of them but Sexton were in play. He got a great start, and he just rode that thing, man. Anybody get worse than a 143? Oh, God. I don't want to put this guy on blast, but I was planning on digging through the scores from H1, and this poor guy in the championship league even scored 43 points. Could you imagine? He scored 43, and you know some people like to set up a troll team. Not this guy. This guy set up a god honest team. He had 2 guys that didn't make it. He missed both FFLs. His all-star got like 7 points. Like he just literally, honest to God, scored 43 points. And I was like, you poor thing. Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, so he had Jet for 19. Jess Pettis didn't line up. Stapleton and Lyonsmith, which were both reaches, let's be fair, but they got 0s. Tickle got 12, Roxon got 26, Benny didn't make the main, and he picked Justin Hill, which I'm gonna guess it's because he's a casual fan and he didn't know. And then he picked Christian Craig and AC, and that's the point where I was like, the team might have been a throw team, but when you pick Craig and AC for FFLs, those are 2 really good options. So I was like, this guy was 100% playing seriously. He signed up on January 15th. He set his team on January 16th and was immediately the worst player the game's ever had. And I was like, this poor guy's gonna quit and never come back, man. Oh, that's gonna be me next week. No, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I'm more impressed when people try to score the lowest without throwing. That's the impressive score. I had Osborne and AC, so I can't pick them next week. Blake, I'm with you. I'm with you. I had Osborne. I did not have AC, but I did have Osborne. I had Schlosser, Moran, Sexton, AC, Osborne. Oh, God, Cody. Oh, man. 222 without Joey. Sam, that's a nice score, dude. Congrats. How did JT do? Let's get JT pulled up. We want leagues. We want 2. We want admins. We want Jason Thomas. Houston 2. 227, that little snake, always pulling it out. How does he do it? How does he do it? But hey, you know what? You look at Jason Thomas and you look at this is a good fantasy player. Look at this team. Let's look at JT's team. Let's break it down. Thurman is an 11, but he should have been in, and he was. Carnow, Short, Faulkner, solid team. Not flashy, solid team. Benny, this is a smart play coming off of missing the main. Eli, Roxon, and Freezy. Solid team, 227. This is why JT is consistently at the top of the admins league. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You might not like it, but it is what it is. I just pulled Tomac, Webb, and Chiz. That's so good, Jace. That's so good. Benny, oh, I know, Nathan, dude. I know. My wife picked Benny all on her own. That can I just say, you know that I say Benny Bloss's name out loud too much when she is like looking at the thing and she's like, I want AC, and I was like, okay, and then she's like, Benny Bloss, you talk about him. Like, not for good reasons, but I was trying so hard to not give her any tips outside of like the videos and the cheat sheets, and I was like, I do talk about him. You are right. I do say his name out loud, normally in disgust and anger, but you are right. I do say his name. And she was poised to beat my ass on her first time ever, and almost did it, dude. Almost did it. I love that she just knew she wanted AC. Oh yeah, that's it. Well, and Jessica, we love AC because he loves state champs. You guys have probably already guessed by the type of music that I play in the background of the stream. when I first started kind of watching it again, and I was like, look at this guy, he's like us, you know, like he's like us. And she was all in. She was all in. And she's hooked now, by the way. I have converted 2 newbies this year using fantasy as a way to get them to watch the races. So please, if you have a friend that you think might like fantasy, or they might like supercross, or they might like motocross, get them hooked by getting them involved in fantasy, because it gives them a reason to care about riders. It gives them a reason to learn about the riders, and pretty soon they're going to be already saying, when's the handicaps come out next time? Can we talk about Woodcock destroying Moran's? Will, oh my god. I need to go back and watch it again, because I was so confused because they did the split screen and they were talking about Moran's first wreck when they did it. So I thought the bottom screen was his first wreck. So I wasn't really paying attention, but it wasn't until like near the end of the clip that I'm like, that's not how he went down the first time. He went down in a different way. This is live. And so I didn't get to like enjoy the entire thing of it, but like I'm excited. It's such a clean takeout. Good for him though. They mislabeled the clips. Andrea, same. I was so confused, man. Yo, Burns, what's up? It's good to see you, buddy. Dis, you should play. You should play with us. It's fun. It's free. If you don't set your lineup, nobody cares. You guys have already missed the first 2 rounds, so you're not playing for the season anyway. It'll give you something to do. It'll give you something to rage about. It's friendly little wagers, and it gives you something to get into. It's my favorite thing to do. I love it so much. Do you guys play other fantasy, moto, stick sports, ball, NASCAR, whatever? It's fun. And this is just the most fun that I have, man. Honestly, this is the most fun I have. Also, can I just say real quick, thank you guys so much. Today was a big milestone for me. I never thought anybody would watch this stupid shit that I do, but we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, which is just super rad, man. And then we hit 1,000 followers on Twitter, and the video for Houston 2 got 1,200 views, 1,300 views now. I never ever would have guessed anybody was gonna watch this shit at all. Shout out to Travis Marks for retweeting like one of my first tweets ever and getting this thing rolling a little bit. But it's super cool, man. I'm just so glad to do this. I did get word, unfortunately, today that I will not be getting press passes for Indy, which I did not expect to get anyway, given COVID and everything. They did give them to me last year, but then COVID hit and Indy was canceled, so I didn't get to go to the race. This year, I applied again. I hadn't heard back. I reached out to a guy today on Twitter and just said, hey, can you just tell me yes or no? Because I really need to plan my trip, and if I get press, I want to be there longer, and if I don't, then I'm probably going to do a shorter stay, because there's no pit pass, there's no, you know, there's not really a lot of activities to do. So, and he said, yeah, just due to COVID, we have a very limited amount of press passes now. And I'm like, dude, fair. That's fair. Cause I don't know who deserves them, but it's not me. You know what I mean? It's not this stupid fantasy thing. My check laughed so hard when I got 6 saying, when you sang my screen name last year when I was top 3. Yeah, it happens, Will. It happens. But that's cool, though. That's cool. Let's be protesting. I know, right? It's that kind of year. It's that kind of year. It's that kind of year for sure. So we'll do it. We'll do it again. Maybe I can get pressed for Iron Man or something. I just want to be there. I want to be on the floor. Like, I want to be able to walk around the pits and tell you guys, yo, I'm going to go over. Benny went down in qualifying. I'm going to go talk to him. Is he good? That's what you guys need to know. I at least want to talk to the riders and you know, relay to them to say, hey guys, just tell us when you're hurt. It's okay. We won't be mad as long as you tell us. We will be mad if you don't tell us. Zen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whoever on here that is not a Patreon subscriber, go now. Roto spends way too much time on this. Nathan, I appreciate it. I do spend a lot of time on it. I have a lot of it down to being automated now. The spreadsheets, now all I have to do is manually type in their handicaps and their qualifying times, and it pretty much does it for me, which is cool. Don't apologize. Yeah, writers, don't apologize. I don't know if there's any writers in here. There's probably not. Don't apologize to us on Twitter. We're just a bunch of idiots that play this silly little game, okay? It's fun. I try, Will. I try. I will say, Will, haha, that's your name. It's getting more difficult. I have people I haven't even heard of hitting me up on Twitter or on Instagram asking about the teams. And it was super easy to do when I first started up because I didn't really have anybody messaging. But like, dude, I cannot tell you who. It's a small one. It's not any major one. I'm not making big connections here. I had a small gear company's official Instagram page in my DMs today asking me if I liked their team. And I was like, yo, you want to sponsor the show? If you sponsor the show, I will give you all the advice you need. But that's gonna cost you, brother. Like, we don't just give it out here for free any more than I give everybody else. Just because you got a gear brand name, that's not gonna fly, man. Free gear. Yeah, I mean, even give me a free set to give away to you guys. That'd be awesome. So hopefully I can get something worked out. I'm just way too broke to take anything out of my pocket right now, so I apologize in advance. I want to do giveaways. I want to do prizes for you guys. I want to do that sort of thing. But you know, maybe someday we can get there. You should be included to the admins league. Rob, I don't think so. I'm not an admin. That's flattering though. I appreciate that, but I am literally not. I am not an admin. I am not on the pod. I would be flattered if I was ever invited to be on the pod, but we do something else. And I like that we have this ebb and flow. We have this balance. Like these guys that are on the screen right now, you know, JT, Paul, Steve, Dan, even Marks, they know the insider. They can text a writer. They can talk to so-and-so that says they're flying at the test track. They have that. And then I like that we have a whole nother thing. I'm like numbers, raw numbers. This is what I can show you guys in images and proof why you should do it. You know what I mean? Steve, yes. Yeah, Harper. Steve was a factory mechanic, most notably for Tim Ferry. And JT, I mean, JT raced for what, 15, 16 years? Have I gone over the rotos? I haven't. Not yet. Are they up? Are the leagues up? Not yet. Okay. As soon as they're up, I will. Oh, you're our middleman. Yeah. And it's again one of those things where I always like to say, you know, I'm not making your picks for you. I give you guys the information, but it's still up to you guys to make the picks. I just want to take everything that I give you guys is readily available. Like you could look up all these stats, but I take it out of there. I take all that work out for you guys. And like that's what I like to do. You know what I mean? You and Clint are my favorite follows. I'm not gonna lie. I have so many good numbers, but I just don't have enough time, and I don't want to tweet too much. I feel like I don't want to blow up your guys' feed with way too many infographics. But I have some, like, I mean, I almost forgot to put out that one about the All-Star picks because I made it yesterday and it was like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably fire that off because it won't be any good. It won't be any good after this one race. But it's one thing that I noticed, and it might be either people learn or the casual fans drop off. But last season, every round had less all-star picks than the round before it, and I think that's people maybe just learning that picking multiple all-stars isn't always the way. I mean, last round was bad. Do any of you guys pick multiple all-stars regularly? Also, don't get mad at the writers, please. Ever. Please don't get mad at the writers. We talked about it today. Somebody, when I was on voice chat with my friends, they asked if anybody does. They do. Don't do that. Do not get mad at writers. It is not, you have no idea how hard this is. You have no idea. Like when you're watching that LCQ, that 250 LCQ, which was an absolute madhouse, those guys are top 50 in the world. That's how difficult the sport is. I think it's just we pick up a video game and we see guys like Eli and Kenny do it all day, hitting that rhythm every time, lap after lap, 50 times in a row is incredibly difficult. So when you have a guy in an LCQ, and also you know what you're signing up for when you pick LCQ guys, don't act like you don't know this is the territory. You know, like Thurman's handicap's an 11 for a reason. You know, A-Ray's handicap is 12 for a reason. Yell at the TV. Yell at the TV. Yeah, don't come in. I did have my very first, I think it was during the outdoor. I had my very first person get mad at me because they listened to my advice. And I'm like, I didn't make you pick them. And by listen to my advice, it was the cheat sheet. They used the cheat sheet, they got a bad score, and that was my fault somehow. Like, I forced them to pick the guy that burned them or whatever. Weege is a big fan of picking multiple All-Stars, and he's also a big fan of losing, I've noticed. Have you seen Trump's emails? That's different. That's different. Truman is different, okay? Oh, I love Dan. Can I just say, Dan was the one guy that reached out to me when I was nobody. So, big thanks to Dan for being the realest of all of them. I'm hoping to do a podcast with Dan soon. Maybe the tail end of this week, or maybe beginning of next week. I'll let you guys know. If you guys are not patrons, if you are, the Michael Antonovich interview was already up. I did a podcast with Michael. If you're not, it should be up either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm gonna try to fill that gap because Saturday to Tuesday we have so much moto, but then we're gonna have a day or two of nothing. So I'm gonna put out that podcast for you guys if you want to listen to that. I'd really appreciate it. But Michael Antonovich is a super cool guy. Love that guy. He's just really cool, man. Like we probably could have talked for 4 hours. I had to cut it out. I had to cut the conversation before it got out of hand, before we kept going too far. It was a lot of fun. I'm waiting for tonight's email. God. How did he do? Do you want to go look? Let's go look. How did he do? Oh, boy. Oh, no. 2 zeros. And Zach. Oh, man. But hey, everybody. This right here, no bueno. No bueno. I don't want to see these guys on your team. No reason. If you are a member of the Patreon and you go back a little bit, at the end of the 2020 Supercross season, I did a little video podcast with all kinds of stats, and I showed you guys what the winner of 2020 looked like. And you know what? And what handicaps he picked. And he never picked, I think one time he picked one guy over a 12. One time. These are just sucker bets, man. When you pick a guy with a handicap over 12, what you're doing is you're betting on the LCQ and the race. Where everything else, you're betting on just the main. These guys' handicap's not high enough to bet. If I'm gonna pick anybody that I think is a fringe main guy, you might as well go 16, man. Go for broke if you're at that point. Andrea, I do think Fleming will make some mains this year. He's a very talented rider, but I go on that where I'm like, stop trying to zig when everybody's zagging. Don't take guys until they make a reason to take them. Like A-Ray has now made 2 mains in a row. I would have, at the beginning of the season, if you would have asked me, I would have said absolutely never pick A-Ray. But he shows that he's willing to be consistent. I'm still not picking him, ever. But if you pick him now, at least he has given you reason to believe. But, you know, these guys like Hunter Schlosser and Wilson Fleming, they have not given you any reason to believe that they should be in the main event. You're hoping, and stop hoping. That's not, if you want to hope, go roll dice. You know, go play blackjack. Like, if you want to bet, you play smart. Let them prove themselves. They do, Andrea. They do. But the thing is that the first time they make the main, they miss a chunk. But the second time they make the main, they only miss a little bit. And I think that's worth it. Again, this is a long season. We got 17 rounds. Last year, the guy that won the overall had 2 zeros. 2 zeros in the entire season. Dan did that in the second week. Don't be Dan. Did Dan do that in the first week? No, Dan did not. So go into it knowing you have allotment for 2 zeros. If you plan on winning. That LCQ is like watching high school football team. Tanner, dude, that was carnage. That was the most entertaining. If you ever want to show somebody that they might think Supercross is boring, just make them watch any LCQ. And they're going to be like, wow, this is a lot of fun. You're like, yeah. I don't understand DT's picks. Over-aggressive from the start and then uses the excuse to swing for the fences. And again, if you guys watch the 10 tips video, which you should watch, please watch it again if you've watched it. If you're having a bad time this season, watch it again. One of the big things is if you dig yourself in a hole early, you will reach. See, like Dan's H1 team is a good team. It's fine. I don't know if I agreed with the hand pick, but he obviously didn't hurt him. But you know, Houston too, no need to go this hard. Same with Steve. You know, Steve came out here with, which Moran's was a good pick, but why Fleming? Look at this. He had 3 likely LCQ guys. Why would you do that to yourself? And then he was surprised on Twitter when he had 3 LCQ guys. Steve always sends it. I know. And again, what do these guys have to lose? Will, I have not seen anything about Chase. At least it's a long week. We have that extra day of relief. He's got 3 days to rest up. I would probably leave him off my team unless he looks great in qualifying. But man, his handicap's got to be good, right? What do you guys think? +2, +3? He was already a 0 and then he just did a big fat DNF. Like if you go off like Blake Baggett, let's see. He wrecked at Daytona, wasn't it? Daytona. Yeah, he was a 3 going into Daytona, and he got last. And then at SLC1, that put his handicap at a 6, dude. Like Chase would have to be at least a 2 or a 3, right? I would think. Oh, but let me see here. This was my team for anybody interested. I was a little, man, John Short should have been higher. He had a couple times. Thurin DNFing really sucked, but at least he got me 26. You can never be mad at getting 26. But Osborne obviously hurt. Eli and Cooper were the good picks. There, and for a while I thought it was going to be these two. I mean, so did everybody else. They had the highest 2 pick trends. Kenny didn't pay off great, but I'll take it. Again, obviously you want 26 out of your all-star, but the big thing to do is to always get 19 to 21 or more. That's why I don't like the AC type picks. I don't like the Faulkners. I don't like the Jet Lawrences. I don't like the guys that have a pretty high chance of scoring like 14, 15 points after handicap. Never seen so many all-stars, not all-stars. Will, it's just so hard, and who knows, maybe they'll make a rule next year where it won't, because the first round of the year goes by feel and then it goes by points. Maybe the first 2 rounds should go by feel and reputation alone. That might be a smarter idea for them. Maybe they should do that. But just looking at this, let me sort. I got it by handicap. So AP will become pickable. I don't like it. I think that I don't like that. Brayton will continue to be an all-star. Probably not gonna pick him. I probably don't pick him. Okay, how low does Chiz's handicap go? Because he went 19, 14, 7. Would you guys pick Chiz at a 7? I think a 7's a reasonable handicap for a guy that just went 14th. Look for character and hard work. Yes, I agree. That's a good point. Savachi will probably be a pretty good pick as long as he's healthy. Hopefully he didn't. I saw him holding his leg, man. Hopefully he didn't mess up his heel again. That'd be a bummer. Bogle, please don't pick Bogle, anybody, for the foreseeable future. Tickle bounced back. Good to see Tickle. Yo, Sagron, thank you so much for being here, man. We're going to be hanging out just for about another 15 minutes or so, and we're going to bail. I know a lot of you guys got to get to bed tonight. Me too, but I want to do this for you guys. Thank you so much for showing up on a Tuesday. I would like to make this a staple. I would love to get this some kind of official tie-in sponsor kind of thing. I would love to make this a staple. This is a lot of fun to do with you guys. Those dudes did good because so many went out. I don't really think so. I mean, I don't think Tickle, because what, Sexton was ahead of him and went back. I think Tickle could have reasonably beat Savachi. Yeah, no, for sure, Mick G. I would not touch Chiz under a 10 if he doesn't have his value. Marks, I was wondering that. Oh man, for who? I thought they were gonna do it in the heat race. Was it the heat race? Was it the first heat race? There was a heat race. Because the first one got legitimately red flagged. It wasn't that one. There was a heat race where there was yellow flags and red and first aid flags, and somebody was jumping through there. And I remember being like, we're just gonna let that fly? Harvey, dude, no sweat, man. Thank you so much for being here. Get some rest. We'll catch up with you soon. We'll catch up with you this later week, buddy. Take care. It's always good to see you. Like Chiz and A-Ray. Do you guys think A-Ray's legit? I mean no disrespect to Alex Ray. I just want to, you know, reiterate that I met Alex Ray at Indy when I was just a nobody fan. I was holding my GoPro against my chest. I wasn't even really using it. And he just grabbed my GoPro, was just dicking off with it, was playing with the deuce, and went over and looked at, I think, was it Chiz on the team that year? Just having a good time, whatever. Like, nobody is cooler than Alex Ray. He's just so stoked to be, like, living his dream as a professional motocross rider. But I just can't pick him. But I'm just so stoked. I would have never guessed that he would be this strong of a main event guy. And I know he's just barely squeaking into the LCQ, but he also knows that's all he needs to do. All he needs to do is get fourth in the LCQ. There's no reason. Round one, I saw 24 jump on flags. Really? It was 250 heat number 2. Okay. Okay. I can't wait to watch the race again in the morning. Does anybody else rewatch the races? It's also really nice because Peacock doesn't let you pause and rewind during the live feed. It's really nice to be able to do that later. If A-Ray stays off the dirt. I know that you mean the ground, Chase, but the dirt sounds like something A-Ray would be partaking in. Ouija Mathis reporting Barsha's shifter may have gotten ripped off and he was stuck in first gear. The whole race? I think they're looking at when Sexton was down. Interesting. Interesting. God, man. That's gonna be big. Oh, man. I hope it doesn't shake it up too much. Oh, God. So what you're saying is everything we know here could be a lie. Yo, Phobias, it's good to see you, buddy. Hope you had a good race. How did you finish? What was your score? Oh, boy, man. Yikes is right. This is wild. So, let's think here. If Barsha, Anderson, or maybe Malcolm gets docked, that could move Osborne back up into double points is all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Hopefully it wasn't Osborne though. Do we have any word, Marks? Is there anybody? Do you have anybody on the inside? Any data? I'll go look at Racer X. I mean no disrespect, but does anybody else mute Racer X during race days? Because the last thing I need is live tweets of something that I'm already watching when I'm trying to keep up with the rest of y'all on there. But I always mute them when the heats start, and I unmute them when the heats are over. Maybe they should have a literal separate Twitter account just for live tweeting the race that I could just mute all the time. Marks, I was just saying, do you have any like, were any boots on the ground, any word from it? You're probably very busy, and I love you being here and hanging out with us, but like, by all means, don't let my dumbass distract you. I wish I lived closer to you. There's something I'm working on that I want to share like the way you did this, but I have no tech skills. That's fair. I'm sorry, man. What an old tweet. Yes, Cody, God. The algorithm wins again. I hate it, man. But yeah, I always mute it immediately. What's going on with the positions now? So Phobias, apparently they might be looking at somebody jumping during the red cross flag when Sexton was down. I don't know who. I haven't seen anything. I have shared all. No, that's fine. I appreciate it. So if that happens, obviously it might be a little bit of a shuffle. I think the only one that would be a huge deal would be if it's Dean, he loses double points. If it's anybody ahead of Osborne, he could gain double points. No, I'm sorry. I was looking at last week's. Yeah, so if it's Dean, he could lose double. Osborne could gain double. Anderson could potentially lose double. Other than that, I doubt it would be anything big. Man, that's crazy, though. That's crazy, though. 250 results just went up. Hampshire. How is Hampshire in 9th? And I guess unless there was just a transponder issue. Because it showed him all the way back in, like, 19th the whole time. And I remember thinking, how did Faulkner get up so fast to be in 6th, but RJ was down so far, like, down all the way that far? But I also was like, if he had something with the bike or maybe with his arm or something that held him back a little bit longer. But let me to you, after today, I think I'm going to therapy. That's what this is. That's what this is. This is therapy. Oh man, I'm glad we at least have this. Timing scoring issue. That's fair. That's fair. So the 250 results are at least live and linked. Do you guys think this is still Christian's to lose? He still looked, I mean, he obviously ended up on a podium, but if Faulkner and RJ didn't, I hate that they kept saying take each other out when clearly Faulkner took them both out. I wouldn't say they took each other out. That's not what I saw on my television. But Craig would have been 5th if he didn't. I just wonder if Craig just needs that open air, if he needs to get that start and run away from it. I will say, is Austin Faulkner a moron or not? Because I just don't understand his mindset ever. And I think Twitter agreed with me. I saw a lot of Twitter noise of people really giving him the business, you know, about being smarter. Jet showed tonight what he's got. True. And again, I was telling my friends that are newer, and I was like, I fully expect Jet to win 3 races, maybe 4 races out of the 9. But I also expect to find him on the ground 3 of 3 races also. And I think at the end of the day, he's going to have one of those rookie seasons, just like Faulkner had, just like AC had, where he's gonna show up so fast. He's gonna be fastest qualifier a lot. He's gonna win his heat race. He's gonna lead mains, but he's gonna just make little stupid rookie mistakes. And what else do you expect from a 17-year-old? I think the days of a guy coming out and winning a title as a teenager are just gone, you know? Faulkner still messed up after his chick left him. Oh, baby. Aren't they back together? I don't know. What do you think of Lee? Low gold, I don't mind Lee. I think he's a professional. I like his voice more than Ralph's, I will say. I do not. Ralph's voice, man. Ralph's voice really got me. Ralph just didn't have a motocross voice for me. Ralph had a... I don't know. He has a great voice for sports TV, just not for me, if that makes sense. I agree 100%, Andrea. I agree 100%. I understand some people just don't like the Australian thing. Some people just don't like accents. Some people really do like accents. It's really hard to tell. I don't think RJ is going to be making phobias. I just felt really bad because I feel like RJ has it all. He just also finds himself in weird positions, whether it's his fault or not. It's really just a bummer. Can you detail the last 4 columns abbreviations from the cheat sheet today? On the Patreon cheat sheet or on the regular cheat sheet? I feel like Lee doesn't know what's going on yet. Yeah, there was something he said today that I was like, I don't think that's what you mean. I don't think that's the word and the terminology that you mean. I wasn't mad at it. They bumped? No. Marks, no way. How did they bump him out of double points? What did he end up getting? No. Thurman should be good. He's in 21st. He's in 21st. What? I'm looking at the thing right now. The official results say 21st. What? Are they changing the official results? Because Albright was out way early in the main, and he did not come back on. They just changed it back. God, AMA! Never change. Oh my God. No way. Thank God. Okay. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You know what? We should all just stop looking until AMA figures their shit out. I swear to God. And not to be rude here, it's been an hour. How long do they need to review the tapes? It's been an hour. Did you guys see that Luke Neese still has a red arrow next to his name? It's been 2 races. He's on a Kawasaki. This is not rocket science. How do I get these guys' job? Can you guys make a call, email your senator, whatever it is that you got to do? Tell them there's an idiot in Ohio with a keyboard. He wants your job. Make a deal, Will. Deal. Absolutely. Marks, you don't have... Well, I guess people are depending on you. I was going to say, go to bed, homie, but I don't think that's it. All right, I will do it. Can somebody put it in the Patreon for me? Are you guys in the Patreon? I'll do it. I'll do it. On Patreon, we have a Discord. Never change AMA shirt. That'll remind me. Okay. Ralph would be able to hook them up with the right color. Oh no. Oh, McG, you didn't. Oh man. Speaking of arrows, Sam, I think, by the way, Sam, Samantha, do you have a preference? I've asked you before, but I forget. I think that they just didn't want there to be 2 reds, and white was the only thing. I don't know why they didn't make gas gray. I don't know, man. I love that they didn't have anything figured out. They didn't have anything figured out until like everybody showed up for H1. Like, they just didn't even bother at any point over the last, what, 6 months to do anything. Thanks for all you do, Marks. Crazy to keep up with all these kinds of changes. Yeah, the unsung hero, can I just get some love in the chat for Travis Marks? Because, dude, this guy, I don't think you guys know what this guy does. And I just want him to know how appreciated he is. Because, you know, Steve, like, obviously without all of this would not be possible without Steve. You know, his personality, his relationship with the guys. I think what makes the Pulp Show so great is that relationship between Steve and Weege and JT and, you know, Dan and Paul and Kiefer. Like, that chemistry is something that you can't teach. But without Marks, none of this would happen. And he works tirelessly as a second job to make this happen for us. And he doesn't have to do anything. Yeah, yes. God, yeah, if anybody needs help finding it on Peacock, don't search the word Supercross. Search the word Round 2 Fight. Oh, it's so bad, man. Round 1, Round 2. Yeah, Round 3. Finish him. Ah. Mark, you playing any video games these days? Do you even have time for such a thing? Deserves all the kudos, yeah. Professional series, we call it, and we can't even get the name right. And again, I feel like nobody at NBC cares. Is there just nobody at the NBC Sports realm that knows anything about our sport? It would not be that hard to get somebody in there to just keep all... Like, I do all this by hand for you guys. And it only takes me a couple hours. Get you on sim. I want does anybody do sim? Does anybody do MX sim or MX bikes? I've heard good things from both, and I just haven't. I'm not ready to make the jump. I'm like mediocre on sim, but the fast dudes are gnarly. I played it one time. I downloaded the demo, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, bro. I'm not ready for this, and I'll stick to Supercross, the game. Oh man. Maybe I talked to Phobias about it earlier. Maybe I will maybe we can get a RotoMoto team for MX Sim, for the MX Sim thing. I think that'd be cool. Also, by the end of this year, by the end of the 2020 season, whether it be indoor or outdoor, I want to sponsor a team, even if for just a race. I want to sponsor a rider. So we'll pick a fantasy favorite privateer. I don't remember who it was today. Was it Woodcock maybe? One of the Kawasaki's in the LCQ. They literally just had the stock graphics on their bike, man. They just had the stock KX on there, and I was like, how much would it be to put Roto on that shroud? That would be the coolest thing ever. And I don't know, maybe we can all pitch in. Like the F1 team the F1 Reddit tried to like sponsor Williams this last year. Maybe we can get like, we'll put together and get a fantasy. The fantasy players can support a privateer. I think that'd be a super cool thing to do. What else do you do? Matt, what do? I actually make decals. If you guys want to see the stupid shit that I do, you can support me here too. I'm other than moto, I'm into car culture. This is my website. But where we make most of our money is going to car shows and setting up like we have 2 10x10 canopies. We make T-shirts and decals, and we sell them to all the racers. But the type of customer that we cater to are the people that would put a 2-foot long I Eat Ass sticker on their windshield. That's my clientele. But this is my day job. This is what I do that allows me the time to do what I do with you guys, because in Ohio, car shows only exist from April to September. So for the first 2/3 of Supercross, I have a lot of time on my hands. It really helps me do this. Woodcock, oh, phobias, man. Boy, did he get him. That was wild. That was a good time. Moranz has a cool deal where he gives you the helmet. I know, I want to do that too. Will. I don't have the money at all right now. COVID has hit hard. I mean, obviously, like I said, because of the events being canceled, and we make all of our money on events, you know, we lost, I don't know, probably 35% of my yearly income this last calendar year, and it doesn't look like it's going to be letting up anytime soon. But I want to give back as soon as I'm able to. Like, I want to give back to the sport. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's 12:30 where I am. I don't know how late it is for you guys. I want to try to do this for an hour, and I don't want to keep you guys too long because I never want to keep you up. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the RotoMoto after show. We will do this again on Saturday. I hope I see you guys on Saturday. Hopefully I can get the handicaps early enough this week that I can work on them. I want to get that video out to you guys earlier in the day Friday, because I've been getting it to you late, and I want to get it to you earlier in the day Friday so that you guys have plenty of time to review that material. To do the shameless plugs that I have for you here, You know, please, if you can and you are interested in supporting the channel, I have merch. I designed it all myself. I think it looks pretty rad. I'd love to see you guys in it. If anybody buys any of it, please put it on, take a picture, send it to me. I'll post it. We also have a Patreon. The Patreon, you get access to the enhanced cheat sheet. You get an extra podcast every week where I go over every single writer in the class and my like initial reaction to them. This is a link to the Patreon right here. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will see you guys this week. Look for that Michael Antonovich podcast to drop either tomorrow or Thursday. And as soon as I have handicaps, I will have more for you. But have a good night. Godspeed. I'll see you guys later. Thanks as always. Bye, guys. Ha, that wasn't a freeze frame. I was just fucking with you. That wasn't a freeze frame.